Hello, my little unicorns. Do you know what this says? It says the finale. The finale. This is our final day of circle time with Miss Britt. It is part 4 of remembering our school year together. And friends, boy, has it been an awesome ride with you guys. What a journey we went through this year. It is going to be the year none of us will ever forget for so many reasons. Not just because of the virus and having to stay home and teaching you through these videos, but because you guys grew up so much and learned so much, and we had such a fun time. Tons of laughter, such great friendships. You guys are the kindest people I've ever met, and we should all be so proud of ourselves. We did it. But before we do our final farewell, and I give you your last brag tag of the year, we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do. So let's do that, buckling up our seat belts and go for this ride again. This time we're going to be in rocket ships because we're going to talk about the solar system again, and get ready to go over the last, I think it's like 8 themes that we talked about this year. Okay? All right. First of all, well, it's Friday, May 18th. No. It's Friday, May 15th, 2020. And it's Friday, right? And so on Fridays, every Friday of our school year, what do? We dance, right? We do our Friday dance. And today was no different. Today was our finale Friday dance. And friends, we had pretty much everyone from our class there. It was so nice to see Lyle's smiling face and Jackson's smiling face. Jackson had a screen in the back that looked like he was at the pool. We had May and Lucy all the way from North Carolina. They're at the beach. And Leah was dancing, and Mia was dancing with her mommy. And Charlotte was there with Caroline, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Caroline. We even got an appearance from James. It was her birthday on Wednesday. Happy birthday, James. And Ellis was there with her brother, James. And who else was there? I think I named everybody. Yeah. It was so great to see everybody. We had 9 friends in our class this year, right? 9. And we had such a good time. Soren wasn't there, but he was there in our hearts. And we say hi to Soren now, okay? We rocked the house. We danced to Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake, our Friday dance song. We brought in Katy Perry, her happy birthday song. We sang to All Around the World, Justin Bieber. And we also did, We're All in This Together, High School Musical. So we danced for the whole half an hour, and it was awesome. It was a grand finale Friday dance party. So thank you. It started out my day great. And then I actually got to go for a walk with Miss Allison from yoga, and she says hi. All right, friends. I have a couple of corrections from part 3 yesterday. The first one is when I was showing you our globes that we did, and I pointed to this green thingamajiggy. I said it was a triangle. Is this a triangle? That is not a triangle. That is a square, right, smart brains? Square. So I called it a triangle by accident. Wrong. Mistake. All right. It's a square. All right. The other thing I did that wasn't correct was I said, we were talking about leap year, and I said it takes the Earth 365 days and 1 quarter to go around the moon. What? The Earth doesn't go around the moon. Well, the moon goes around the Earth, but no, it takes 365 days and 1/4 to go for the Earth to go around the sun. The sun, my friends, not the moon, Miss Britt. And then one other thing, we were talking about Black History Month, and one of the people that we celebrated was a player on the Atlanta United team, the soccer team. And I forgot his name. And friends, his name is George Bello. George Bello. Okay? So those are corrections from my mistakes. Yay. All right. Let's breathe so we can get ready to learn all this stuff. Look at this pile. Oh, it's a lot we learned. A lot. So we can go through the pile and give hugs. All right, I'm not getting sad. I'm not going to get sad. All right, I'm going to take out Stinky Kid Billy. Hello. And he'll be my breathing buddy today. Do you guys have your breathing buddy? Okay, go get it. I'll wait. I'm patient. All right, I have my breathing buddy. Let's breathe 4 times. Let's make them really big this time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 breaths to start our circle time. Get our calm brains right. We read yesterday the color monsters. Getting our green calm color monster and getting our brains ready to learn. Okay? Thank you, Stinky Kid Billy. Bye. All right. We left yesterday where I said I was going to teach you guys how to draw a robot. So let's do it to it. Okay? So get your paper. Get your paper. Get your black marker. And let's draw a robot. Robot. Okay? And I'll do it big this time so that you guys can see it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to draw a square for his head. And that's kind of at the top. Okay? So a square has all of the same 4 sides. If you can draw a square at the top, very good. All right? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do his body. His body's going to be a rectangle. And these can be as big or as small as you want. I'm making them big so that you guys can see. Okay, rectangle. And then we're going to do another bigger rectangle, a larger rectangle for his pants, like that. Okay, it kind of looks like a cake. All right, now we're going to make his legs. So his legs are made up of, let's do 1, 2, 3 ovals, 1, 2, 3 ovals, like that at the bottom for both his legs. So each leg has 3 ovals. Okay? And then we're going to make his feet, and his feet are going to be rectangles attached to the ovals. You see that? Right. All right, then we're going to make his arms. His arms are going to be those ovals too, but they're going to be going up and down instead of on the sides. And I kind of don't have as much room, but 3 on both sides, 3 ovals, 3 ovals. And then you can make his hands however you make them. James likes to make them in big circles. I'm going to do them like looking like a mitten. Okay. And then on the top of his head, we're going to make 2 little squares. 1, 2, with a little antenna at the top. So 2 little squares. 1, 2, with the antenna at the top. Okay, is your robot looking like mine? Then for his eyes, you can make his eyes however you want. I'm going to make circle eyes. You can make square eyes. And I'm going to do big dots because we're talking about today. Fun with dots. I'm going to make his eyes look like that. And then his mouth, I'm going to make that into a rectangle with little squares inside for his teeth. Okay? And then my robot, I'm going to make little circles and boxes in his body to look like they are buttons that you push. I'll put squares inside. And you can make your buttons however you want. Okay, so I did some dots, some squares, some rectangles. Okay, you can make the buttons however you want. And then you can make his little ears, little T's coming out the side of his head. Like that. And that, my friends, is our robot. For robot. Okay? How do you spell robot? This is how you spell it. R-O-B-O-T. Robot. I am a robot. I am a robot. And this is robot Britt. And you guys can make your robot for yourself. Okay? There's our robot. And I know I went fast, but you guys can slow down the video again and you can draw your robot. And anyway, you can draw a robot however you want, because listen, it's only made up of really rectangles, squares, ovals, and circles. However you want to make it. Robot. And send me them. I'd love to have those for over the summer to keep in my office. Because guess what? I'm going to shut down this playroom studio. It's my new studio. All right, here is my robot. I'm going to put my robot aside. And we are going to get started in our themes, okay? So, yesterday, part 3, I left you guys off with this clue. Do you guys know what this is? If you said it's the Cat in the Hat's hat, you are correct. Ding, 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 ding. It's the Cat in the Hat's hat. And this week at school, we talked about famous authors. Famous authors. And Dr. Seuss was one of our famous authors that we talked about. And what we did for Dr. Seuss was we made Dr. Seuss hats. Do you guys remember? You colored each one of these red and white, and then you cut them out, and we put them on your heads that you guys got to take home. Yes, we did that for Dr. Seuss. And Dr. Seuss is one of Miss Deb's favorite authors. She has read you guys a lot of Dr. Seuss books for story times with Miss Deb while we've been at home. But a couple of things about Dr. Seuss I wanted to just share with you. Do you know that Dr. Seuss wrote 44 children's books? He wrote and illustrated. So if he wrote them, he was the what? The author, right? And if he drew the pictures, he was the illustrator. So he was the author and the illustrator for 44 children's books. 44. That's a lot, friends. And he was also born in Springfield, Massachusetts. That's up north. And his name was Theodore Seuss Geisel, or Giesel. But he changed his name. He put doctor in front of it so he could sound a little bit more fancy. Fancy, like fancy Nancy. He's not actually a doctor, like a doctor and a nurse, those people that are really helping us right now. He wanted to just be fancy and put the doctor in front so people would think that he was cool. A-okay. All right, and he wrote so many books. Green Eggs and Ham, If I Ran the Zoo, and I think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, Cat in the Hat, so many. And he, my friends, is somebody who loved to rhyme, right? And that's why we did rhyming before we got into favorite authors, because they go together. We go together like shamanama, ka-ding-a-ding-a-ding. One of my favorite movies, Grease. Oh, by the way, because today's our last day together, I brought chocolate. Do you guys have a treat? Can you guys go run and get a treat and have some chocolate or some candy or a treat with me? Ask your mommies and daddies first, or your mommies and mommies, or daddies and daddies. Because it's our last day. Why not? So I'm going to have some of my chocolate. The way to my heart, my friends. Chocolate. No, I'm only kidding. You're the way to my heart because you're so sweet. Okay. So that is Dr. Seuss. The next author that we learned about was Margaret Wise Brown. And she wrote Goodnight Moon and Runaway Bunny. Runaway Bunny is such a sweet book about a little bunny and a mommy. And Goodnight Moon. And she loved animals. So most of her books have animals in them. And we did this project where we drew a moon. We used chalk on black paper, which is really fun to do. You guys should do that over the summer. It's just like kind of a different kind of drawing. And then we glued the red strips on top for the window. And we made our Goodnight Moon activity page. And you did it all by yourself. No help from Miss Deb and I. All by yourself. All right. The next author we focused on was Faith Ringgold. And this is her right there. And Faith Ringgold was from New York. Woo woo! Fellow New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker. Nice. And she was a teacher. She was a teacher. And she started her books by focusing on quilts. Right? We were talking about quilts, how we made our friendship quilt. She made quilts. And in her book, which was called Tar Beach, one of the books, she had lots of quilts around all the pictures. And I don't have her book with me right now. It's in the classroom, or it's in my garage, actually, because I took everything out. But we did make this drawing because Tar Beach, we talked about when we were talking about real and pretend, how we were saying that there was a girl that flew over the city. That was from this book, Tar Beach. And I was using this little penguin as my example. But do you remember we took pictures of you guys like you were flying through the air? And we gave those to you? Yeah, you guys made this. And this is the skyline, the buildings that we used, different shapes. And you guys made that all by yourself to celebrate Faith Ringgold. Okay, the next author we talked about was Ezra Jack Keats. And he too, my friends, is from New York. Actually, Brooklyn, which is where my mommy and daddy are from. And he loved to write books about a group of kids that were growing up in the city. So here are all those characters that he included in his books. And the book that we celebrated was The Snowy Day. The Snowy Day. And those are the characters, or that's the little boy wearing his snowsuit from Snowy Day, right? And he was putting footprints in the snow. So we read that book too. How can I forget? And then the last author we talked about was me. I am a children's book author and illustrator, right? And I wrote the Stinky Kid books. And this was my last one that I wrote, called Have a Heart. And it's about how best friends don't have to do the same things, right? We're all different and we can appreciate each other's differences. And this is Have a Heart. So I think maybe I'll do a weekend bedtime story of Have a Heart, because this is the only one I haven't read to you guys yet. All right? So I was the last author that we celebrated, and I gave everybody in the school my books, and I hope you guys are enjoying them. Okay, along with favorite authors, we also brought in a new letter, and that letter is the letter W. And W, Mattman says, this is where May used her creative brain, and she came up with the W dance, which was down, up, right? Can you guys do that? Stand up. Okay? And I can't stand up because the ceiling's too small and you won't be able to see me. So if you stand up, okay, now go down, down, up, right? And that's W. Down, up, stop. And what does W say? W, right? And Mattman says, how many big lines do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 big lines. W, right? And for W, the words that we learned were or R now. Whale, walrus, wand. I wish I had a magic wand, ding, that I could actually see you. Woman, I am woman, hear me roar. Web for spider web. A wagon. I've seen a lot of your wagons around school. And watermelon. Yum. I love watermelon. Do you guys like watermelon? I think you guys do. Watermelon. W. Okay, so that is what we did for the letter. All right. Then our next topic was spring. And that was a good tie-in because snowy day is winter. And what season comes after winter? Spring, right? Let's do our season dance. Fall, winter, spring, and summer. That's right. Fall, winter, spring, and summer. So we talked about spring, and it was also the month of March. So spring is the season. March is the month. Okay? Each day is a different number. And then there's also some holidays in spring. And it's when that bunny comes and brings us those yummy eggs with the treats. Right? Easter. Easter is a spring holiday. All right. Spring. Spring brings what? What are these? Flowers, right. Spring. Well, it says April showers bring May flowers, but April and May are in spring. So spring, flowers. Flowers. And we also, for spring, we talked about what kind of clothes we can wear in spring, right? So we made this little chart here. And we talked about what kind of clothes we can wear in spring. So in spring, you can wear a raincoat, right? Because there's lots of showers, April showers. And your rain boots, which now you guys have all those back because you got those from our class. Would you wear a wool hat in the spring? I don't think so. It gets a little bit warmer, right? In the winter, it's really, really, really cold. So you'll wear a wool hat. But in the spring, it starts to get a little bit warmer. And we're in spring right now, May. And you can start to wear maybe like a baseball cap, or like I'm wearing short sleeves. You don't necessarily need long sleeves. You can wear lighter shoes. There's that t-shirt right there. And so you want to wear lighter clothes than you'd wear in the winter. And we charted all of those clothes. Also, it was March, like I said, when we talked about spring. And it was a day called Pi Day. Pi Day. And that is March 14th, 3.14. That's pi. And to celebrate Pi Day, we have this pie crust that we colored. And we put different fruits and candies in our pie. And you guys did that all by yourself. You glued it on. And this is the sign for pi. It's the 6th Greek alphabet, pi. And we made a pie for Pi Day. Now, pi, if you look at it as a number, it's another number that never ends, friends. 3.14, and it keeps going on and on and on. It's like 3.14159265358979 323834626433383279502 ... and so on and so on and so on. That's pi. That's a fun little holiday that we celebrate on March 14th. And in spring's a good time where we can plant seeds to watch the flowers grow, right? And that will go along with some of our life cycles. That was our last theme this year, our last one. What letter is this, friends? Did you say X? X, X. You are correct. X. X was the letter that we talked about that week. And look, there's not very many pictures on this coloring page, and that's because it's kind of hard to find words that start with the letter X. So we talked about that too. We talked about X-ray. What's an X-ray? Right, an x-ray is when you can see the inside of your body, you can see the bones, right? And Science Sarah showed you lots of x-rays of frogs and snakes. I think there's a fox in there. Xylophone, which you guys did a lot with and played with Miss Madison in music, right? Xylophone. Christmas tree. We had one of those in our classroom, a little one. And then this is the Roman numeral X, which are very big words for you guys. But if you see that, it actually means the number 10. 5 and 5, 10. 10. So we didn't have a lot of words with that, but we also talked about other things like taxi. Taxi has an X in it. Or fox. Fox has an X at the end. And what word rhymes with fox? Box, right. And box has an X at the bottom. At the end too. Box, B-O-X, fox, F-O-X. So we talked about other words that have an X in it, but don't start with the letter X, because there aren't too many of those. All right, if we were on letter X, do you know what, friends? We only had 2 more letters after X. Oh my goodness. And after X and after spring, that's when we started to have to stay home because of the virus. And that's when we started these circle time videos with Miss Britt. Can you believe that? And at that time, it was St. Patrick's Day. And in our classroom, we were going to make a leprechaun trap, but we didn't get to because we didn't go back to our classroom. We did this instead. We found creative ways to teach you guys. So what did you guys make your leprechaun traps out of? Do you remember for St. Patrick's Day? Did anybody use Legos? Did anybody use blocks? Did anybody use recycled materials, which we'll talk about, like a cardboard box or a tissue box? Did anybody catch the leprechaun? Did you catch the leprechaun? We didn't, but he left chocolate coins, right? And we caught his little hat. His little hat was left for us, but we didn't catch that little rascal. And we were talking about leprechauns too, and do you know what his day job is, the leprechaun? He fixes shoes. Fixes and makes shoes. Who knew? Who knew? That's his day job. So I hope you guys caught the leprechaun. If you didn't, I know you tried your best like I did. He's a fast little guy. He's really little. And we also decorated our door with these clovers, right? Clovers. And you guys did a great job with this. I think we just gave this back to you when you came to pick up your boots and your raincoats. Clovers. And sometimes there are 4-leaf clovers, which means good luck. This is a 3-leaf clover. Have you guys ever found a 4-leaf clover? I found a lot of them one year in my yard. There were so many. I don't know what happened. It was like one 4-leaf clover made tons of baby 4-leaf clovers, and we had them everywhere. It was really fun. All right. That was St. Patrick's Day. Oh, I forgot to go over this. Matman. Matman for X. What does Matman say we need for X? Right, 2 big lines, and they go on top of each other diagonal. Right, our X. X. X marks the spot with the dot, dot, dot. X. All right. After X, we learned the next letter, which is, do you know? You said Y? Good job. Y. We did Y. All right. Some of the Y words are yak, yakety yak, yak, which is a kind of like a big cow or a moose, kind of like that. And I think we showed you a picture of what a yak is. Yoga. Namaste. Yoga with Miss Allison. Yacht. Oh, would I like a yacht right now? Sail away. Oh. Yawn. Did you just yawn? Because yawns are contagious. Oh, I don't have my yo-yo. Emma and Mark were using it last night. Yo-yo. Right? I showed you guys with the string. You guys can practice yo-yos. And yoke. what's in the middle of the egg that we can eat, the yellow part. So those are our Y words. And Matman says we need one big line and one little line going diagonal. But the way we did it in class, we didn't really listen to Matman. The way we did it, I'll use the back of my robot paper. Where's my black marker? I'm losing all my stuff. Oh, here we go. We did it like this. We made a V, right? And then we put a line going down the middle. Y. So we do a V, and then a line at the tip going down. Why? Why? Why are you so awesome? Why? All right, letter Y. Now, drum roll please. We then moved on not only to a new theme, okay, because St. Patrick's Day is green. That's the color that we use. And green, is it a primary color or a secondary color? Wait, we'll answer that in a second. But that's why we moved on to this next topic. But before we do that, we were on our 26th letter, the last letter of the alphabet. And what is that, my friends? Z, right? We moved on to Z. And what does Matman say we need for Z, friends? One big line going diagonal with two little lines going in different directions at the top, right? You can do it like that. You can do it in one big swoop, which is what we did. Line, diagonal, line. Z. Z says Z. Like we're sleeping. Z. Right? For zebra, zipper, zigzag. What else is Z for? Zeppelin. We drew a zeppelin. Zinnia, that's a flower. Zucchini, yum. Love zucchini. Zero, number, which we'll talk about in a minute. Right? And zigzag and zipper and zebra. Z. And friends, we made a really big deal out of this because you learned all 26 letters of the alphabet. Not only can you see them and know what letter it is, but you can sound out every letter. You know which ones are vowels and what we do with vowels. You know words that start with them, and you can write them. Unbelievable. And this is the time you are going to get your certificate. Miss Deb and I have this for you that we're going to bring to you on Monday. It says, I know my ABCs. Name, maybe Soren Reed. Date, it was in May, at Hey Good Preschool, and Miss Deb and I are going to sign it. So proud of you. So proud of you. Okay? Now, the theme that we got into when we learned our letter Z was mixing colors. Mixing colors. And this, do you remember what this is called? It's called a color wheel, and it shows us the primary colors and the secondary colors. Let's talk about that real quick, okay? We made this together, okay? And at the top you see red, and then you see yellow. Red and yellow make what? Orange, right? Red and yellow are the primary colors, and orange is the secondary color, okay? The next one was red and blue, which are the two primary colors. Red and blue make what? Right, purple. Okay, and then we went to the next one. Blue and yellow, primary colors. Blue and yellow make green. Right, our color wheel. It helps us to learn our colors. And we did this together too. There it is again. Red plus yellow is orange. Red plus blue is purple. and blue plus yellow is green. Primary colors, secondary colors, okay? You can't make the secondary colors without the primary colors. And Laura, Miss Laura, our art teacher, she was telling us that kind of stuff too. Stuff like this, right? The colors of the rainbow. Do you remember the order of the color of the colors in the rainbow? It's R, which is red, O for orange, Y for yellow, G for green, B for blue, I for indigo, and V for violet. Or you could just have purple, okay? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, we'll say purple. The colors of the rainbow. And when we were doing mixing with colors, we read so many great books that week. That was a fun week for me because I love coloring, right? What's my favorite thing to color with? Do you remember? Oil pastels. That's right, oil pastels. But we brought out these coloring buddies, these crayons, and we sent you a white one so you guys could color it in. Maybe you can print it out again and color it all over again. But these little buddies helped us, okay? So let's do this real quick. If I have my red crayon, hello, and I bring in my yellow crayon, hello. If I mix those two together, the magic happens and it makes orange. Right, okay? Let's try this one. If I have my red crayon, hello. I bring in my blue crayon, hello. I mix those two together. What color do I get? Right, purple. Very good. Purple's the secondary color. Okay, so now let's take our blue crayon, hello, and our yellow crayon, hello, Miss Deb's favorite color. Mix those two together. And what color was that St. Patrick's Day clover? Green, right. Blue and yellow make green. Green is the secondary color. Then, from there, and this was the time when it was Easter, so we painted our Easter bunny together. But then we decided to bring in the color white, right? So if you take white and you mix it with blue, dark blue, what do you get? Light blue, right? Hello, light blue. If you mix red, where are you, color red? If you mix red with white, what do you get? Pink. A lot of the girls' favorite color. And Soren looks great in pink. He had that pink shirt. I remember we read that book, Pink is for Boys. It is, my friends. Pink. So we started to mix white, and we also mixed white with black for this bunny, and we made it gray. Great. So that was mixing colors, primary and secondary colors, mixing them where the magic happens. And we did a lot of things with mixing colors. All right. We were done with the alphabet. Wow. So that's when we started to talk about numbers, okay? Which we were talking about all throughout the whole year. But we decided to focus on numbers since we were all done with our alphabet, with our letters. Cheers. Did you guys ever go get a treat? What treat did you get? Did anybody get chocolate? Can I have a bite of my chocolate? All right. Numbers. And for our class, I know that there are some friends that can probably count all the way up to 100. Yes. But what we decided to do in our class was focus on 0, the 0 number. Yes, it is, my friends. I see you. 0, and we went to 10, right? And this, we first did 0 to 5. This says numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, counting up. And we brought in these mats, right? And all of you guys have a copy of this that you guys can print out again and do it during the summer. And you can also eat off of them too. So this was for the number 1. and it said to trace it, so we traced the number 1. I don't have my pen right now. Traced it. Then we showed it. So show me 1 on your hand, right? 1. Then we took Play-Doh and we made little balls to fill in 1 square, or we can make dots, fun with dots. Okay? And then we build them, and that's when we took out our Legos. Love Legos, love Legos. And we built with our numbers. And this was the map for number 1. But this was the board that we had in the back for numbers, and they were all jumbled up, and you guys showed me that that was 3, that was 6, that was 2, and we talked about different places that we find numbers, like on a clock, right, or on die or dice, and how we can tally when we count. How do we count? With our pointer finger, right? And we don't go ahead of our pointer finger. We used to play games with that and trick you and stop, and you guys would keep counting. So we had all these numbers, right, that we were looking at and learning. And we learned 0 through 5. We also that week drew directive drawing with Miss Britt. A stinky kid. A stinky kid. You guys did a great job with that. All right. Then we moved on to numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we also had a lot of fun. Well, I hope you did. I did. With dots. What do you think that this drawing is going to be when you connect the dots? Did you say flower? It's probably a flower. But you got to connect all the dots. Okay? So we had fun with dots. So we went over 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We had our 6 mat and our 7, 8, 9, 10 mats. And you guys did the same thing as you did with the number 1. And then we read a lot of books that had the theme about dots and how we can make so many cool things out of dots. And this was one of them. It was called 10 Black Dots. And we drew pictures together with dots, right? We drew the snowman. What's this? Flower. Fox. What was this? Right? Boat. Ooh, what was that? Sun. Solar system. Coming up soon. And we drew a snake. We drew lots of things with dots. We read lots of books about dots, and dots can really make lots of cool drawings. And you can count dots. So the dots and the counting and the numbers all went together. Right. Okay. Now, this is when we talked about breathing and how important breathing is for calming our brain and getting our brains to listen, right? And we focused on the brain. Dun, 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 dun. This is a picture of your brain. What? It is. And we also learned about how our brain is the size of our fist, right? So we made our brain, and we put our fingers together with our 2 thumbs out here. And I always have to look at my notes because I'm not a scientist. So I have to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Your thumbs represented your prefrontal cortex. And that's what we said was the wise leader, okay? And it helps you solve problems in your brain. Then the amygdala was these pointer fingers underneath here. And the amygdala is our security guard, okay? She helps keep you safe. And if you're in danger, your brain knows what to do, okay? And then the last one was the hippocampus that we talked about, which was the 2 middle fingers that are tucked away here. And the hippocampus is the saver of memories. And this is what we're doing right now, remembering our school year together. If we didn't have the hippocampus, we wouldn't remember any of these things that Miss Britt, that I am talking about right now. So we want to make sure our brains are calm and healthy, right, with growing food and calm. And that's why we focus so much on breathing and counting to 10 when we get frustrated. And we talked about a lot of things. Like we talked about how the dog brain is less than a pound, the human brain is about 3 pounds, and the elephant brain is 13 pounds, the heaviest. But it doesn't matter. The human brain knows a lot more than the elephant brain. Okay? So that's when we talked about that, and I brought in the curriculum Mind Up. Mind Up. All right. Where am I? I'm going to take a sip. Cheers. Oh, at this time, we also were reviewing all of our letters, and we started the Lego challenge, where every day we were making a new thing out of Legos, which you guys can keep doing. At home this summer, I can send that to your parents. We were also doing kindness bingo, right? Every day we did something that was kind. And you guys do stuff that's kind all the time. I bet you've already done like 10 kind things today. Well, one thing that's kind is that you're watching me on this video. Thank you. All right, so. Oh, getting tired again. All right, here we go. You guys getting tired? We learned a lot. All right, fun with dots. We then moved on to Earth Day, recycling, and composting. And how do you go from numbers and fun with dots to Earth Day and recycling? Well, number one, it was Earth Day that week, so we needed to talk about it. But number two, you could say that all those little planets are little dots in the sky, right? From where we're looking, they're just teeny little dots, and we need that big telescope to look and see those planets in the sky, right? And one of those planets is Earth. And what is Earth? Is it our home? It is. It's where we live. Okay, friends. Earth Day, right? There's planet Earth. And we learned how to draw planet Earth. And we have a Band-Aid on it because we want to make Mother Earth feel better. And you guys are doing a great job. And we talked about how with us staying home because of the virus, that nature is just exploding and doing such great things. I mean exploding in a good way. You can hear the birds, and the air is so fresh because there's not a lot of cars on the road, and the grass is really green, and we've had gorgeous weather since we've had to stay inside because of the virus. Earth Day. So actually this Earth Day was one of my favorites because Mother Earth was really doing pretty good, right? One of the things we talked about on how we can help Mother Earth is what? Do you remember what this sign is here? The 3 arrows on that green bucket or blue? Recycling, right. Recycling. Do you remember what the 3 words are for recycling? It's recycle, reuse, and what was the other one? I have to look myself. Recycle, reuse, what was the other one? Ah! Sometimes I forget these things. Hold on. Is it on the back here? Hold the phone, friends. Hold the phone. Recycle, reuse, and something else. I'll get it, or I'll have to do a correction tomorrow. Oh, reduce. Ah, my brain was working. Thank you. Sorry. Sorry for that interruption. Recycle, reuse, and reduce. So reduce means don't use as much plastic. Recycle means use it for something else, right? So I showed you all my recycling for a day where I had the tissue box and the cardboard box from Amazon and the egg carton, a cup, right? And we want to reduce the amount of plastic because plastic doesn't recycle very well. And we were talking about all these different facts about Earth Day, right? We said well, here's one. The United Nations renamed Earth Day as International Mother Earth Day in 2009. Who knew? Earth Day Network started a campaign to plant 1 billion trees, and this target was achieved in 2012, and it's 2020, 8 years ago. So we talked about a lot of different Earth Day facts, words: protect, help planet Earth, plant trees, we drew planet Earth, and we give planet Earth a big hug and care about planet Earth. Another thing we talked about that week was composting. And composting is taking your scraps, right? The food that you eat, like the banana peel, or sometimes even newspaper, and you put it in either a bucket or in a hole outside, and you compost to make the soil much better so things can grow. And so those worms can eat all that and give nutrients to the soil, right? We talked a lot about that. And the good thing is that this Earth Day topic, because it was so big and so much to talk about, is on its own video, its own Circle Time video that you guys can watch at home again, okay? So I'm not going to go over it too much because we're already almost an hour here, and we have that video. Okay, after Earth Day, recycling and composting, we moved on to the solar system, right? And we said the solar system is named that because all of the planets circle the sun, and solar is sun. And there's our little rocket ship. We used May and Jackson's rocket ships, and we blasted off to the solar system to learn about each of the, how many planets? 8 planets and 1 dwarf planet, Pluto. And I read you my our solar system book that I wrote for Max when he was little, right? And we talked about all the planets. Okay, so with the solar system, we were lucky because we got these drawings from Ford, James's big brother, and he spent such a long time going over these planets. Okay, so why don't we talk about it? So you have the sun, and all the, sorry, I'm getting my sheet. All the planets go around the sun, and they go around the sun at different times, okay? So the first planet that's closest to the sun is Mercury, right? Mercury, it's closest to the sun, and it's actually the smallest planet in the solar system, okay? Then we talked about the next planet, the second planet, number 2, Venus. Venus is our goddess of love, and she is Earth's sister, and she's similar to the size of Earth. Okay, the next planet, taking out my notes, hold on. The next planet is our home, which is Earth, right? And the blue is what? Water, and the green is land or continents. And it's the third planet from the sun, and those 3 planets that we just talked about are called terrestrial planets, right? Hard like rocks, we talked about that. Our planet, Earth, has 1 moon, and that moon helps with the rise and fall of the tides, we said, and it also determines day and night on Earth. No, sorry. Day and night on Earth is where we are with the sun. Wrong. What I wanted to say with the moon was day on the moon is very hot and night on the moon is very cold. Sorry. Okay. The next planet is Mars, and we call it the red planet. It's also a terrestrial planet, and it's smaller than Earth. Okay. Then we move on to Jupiter, and Jupiter has what? The red spot, right? And that red spot is a storm, right? That's moving around. And it's actually a gas planet. It's very light. It's not heavy like a terrestrial planet. It's light. Okay. Then the next planet is Saturn with its rings so bright. You know it's Saturn because it has the rings. Okay. And it's the sixth planet, and those rings are made up of 7 flat rings. All right. Then we have Uranus, that funny name planet, right? And it's the 7th planet. It's also a gas planet, and it's very cold. It's very cold. Then we have Neptune, the 8th planet. It's also a gas planet, and it's very, very windy. And then last is Pluto, which is the dwarf planet. Okay? So we spent a lot of time on the solar system, which was really fun. And we drew this astronaut, right? And you guys did a great job at that. Okay, during this time, we also brought in 3-letter words, and we had to figure out what vowel was missing in the middle. So let's just do 2 of them. Oh, it was also May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day. Okay, all right. Let's try a couple of these 3-letter words that we went. Okay, what do you see here? It's a hen. We're going to get into the next topic. This is great. Okay, hen. Is that a male or a female chicken? If you said female, you're right. What's the male? Rooster, right. Okay, this is a hen. If I say what letter is that? What vowel is that? Ding, 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 ding. You said it. E. Hen. H-E-N. Hen. All right, let's do one more. One more, because we did a lot of these letters. Let me see. Here, we'll do this one. Well, that we already did. Let's do this one. Okay, the life cycles. Okay, what do you see here? It's not a kitten, that would be K, but it would still say K. This is a cat, okay? So cat. The missing vowel in the middle is this. A. What letter is that, friends? If you said A, you are correct. C-A-T, cat. K-A-T. K-A-T. Cat. You are reading. You're reading and spelling and sounding out. So smart. Okay, so we did those 3-letter words, which you guys can do at home too. And I did hen and cat because, oh my gosh, drum roll please. Our last topic of this year in 5-day 3s before you go to pre-K, life cycles. And we spent an entire week on life cycles. There was a lot to talk about. Life cycles. Some of the life cycles we talked about were 1, the butterfly, right? The butterfly. And I think some of you guys even have caterpillars at home that are going to see them turn into butterflies, okay? And what did we say? We said the butterfly lays the eggs on the favorite leaf, and then the eggs hatch into a caterpillar, and that caterpillar eats that favorite leaf, nom 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 nom, and eats a lot more until it's tired to go into its chrysalis. And then all of a sudden, out of that chrysalis comes a beautiful butterfly. And it goes around again and again and again. That's the cycle, right? The life cycle. Okay, that's the butterfly. The next life cycle we talked about was the life cycle of a plant, right? Of a plant. And the life cycle of a plant is you have a seed that you put in the soil with all that compost that you did. That seed makes a sprout in the ground that you may not be able to see yet, but then it becomes a seedling, which you get to see now, the sprout poking out of the ground, of the soil, and it makes a plant, right? And we need the bees and the worms and the sun and water to help with plant life cycles. Okay, the next life cycle we talked about was Ribbit, the frog, okay? And we talked about two big words that went with, or one big word that went with frogs. It was amphibians, and that's one of Science Sarah's favorite words. Amphibians, they can live in the water and on land, amphibians. The other word we talked about was photosynthesis, and that was with the life of a plant. But those were the two words, and we counted the letters on those words. But quickly, let's go through the frog. The frog starts with lots of eggs in the water. Then those eggs form into tadpoles. That doesn't look like a frog. And they swim underwater. Then it becomes a froglet where it has those legs. And then it loses that tail and becomes a ribbit frog that can live on land. Okay, we then moved on to the life cycle of a chicken. And this is where we talked about, friends, that the eggs that we eat, nom, 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 right? They are the eggs that there is no boy chicken, no rooster, no siree, only hens, right? And they make the eggs that we eat. And you remember Farmer Kelly, he made that video of the chicken coop? If you have not watched that, I highly recommend watching it. It's so good. That was the field trip we were supposed to take. And I came around and I gave you guys eggs. Some of the eggs were brown, some were brown with black specks, some were blue. They were gorgeous eggs. And you guys got to eat those eggs. We saw Soren eating those eggs, and Charlotte. But those are the eggs that only have a hen. If you have a chicken in the egg, you need a hen, a girl chicken, and a rooster, a boy chicken, okay? And what happens is you have the egg, and then that little chicken hatches out of the egg, out of the shell, forms into a little baby chick, and then becomes a big, or a mommy or a daddy chicken, hen or a rooster. And that was the life cycle of a chicken. And I hope you guys enjoyed those eggs and that video that Farmer Kelly made. I loved it. We finished it all up then with the life cycle of you and me, humans, right? And we said you start as a baby, and then you become a toddler, a big kid, a teenager, a bigger kid, like 20, Max's age. Then you become a parent, a grown-up, mommy and daddy, or a grown-up. And then you become a grandparent, or a kiki, or a granny, or a nana, or a papa, or a gramps, or a grampy, whatever you guys call your grandparents. There's the boys and the life cycle of us. And we've made this baby Britt, or baby May, or whoever you are. We drew this baby. And we also drew a nurse to celebrate all those amazing nurses out there for Nurses Day. Friends, the finale. Those were the 34 themes that we learned, the 26 letters of the alphabet that we learned, all the colors, all the numbers, all the shapes, all the fun that we had 2019 and 2020 in 5-day threes, the finale. Now, before I go, now I'm getting a little verklempt, a little sad. This is going to be your final brag tag that will bring you on Monday. It says, "This year rocked." Yes, it did. I can do it. Yes, I can. We did it, friends. We rocked the house. Woo, woo. And had an amazing school year. And we're going to give that to you guys for your last brag tag. I want to leave you with one of my favorite books and something for you guys to think about as you get older and older and older, okay? Because one of the things Miss Deb and I said, and Miss Jenny and I said was, if you don't learn anything this whole year, we just want you to be kind. And you guys are the kindest people we know. But this book says, say something, okay? And it's very important for you guys to know that if you guys see something, you should say something, okay? And let me read this to you so that you guys can understand what that means. Say something. It says, the world needs your voice. You have great voices, great words. You can speak so clearly and so well. And this kid's going, mine? Yes, yours. Go ahead. It doesn't need to be perfect, right? We talk about not being perfect, right? As long as it comes from your heart, okay? The world needs your voice as long as it comes from your heart. You don't have to be loud. Powerful words can be a whisper. You can tell somebody, I love you, very softly. And it doesn't have to be loud to make it important. You can say something in so many ways, with words, with actions, with creativity, right? You guys are very creative people. And with actions. So you don't always have to say, I love you with words. You can say it with actions by giving someone a hug or drawing them a picture, right? Or just smile. And with words. And you know how I say sometimes use your words, right? So sometimes you may say something like, that thing over there, and I'll say, no, what is that thing? Use your words. That's giving you powerful words to use, okay, to describe things. If you see somebody lonely, say something by just being there for them, okay? If someone's playing by themselves, don't just let them be sad. Go over and say, hi, would you like to play with me? That would be lovely. That would make their heart feel so good. If you see an empty canvas, means an empty piece of paper, say something with your brush. Friends, all the drawing we've been doing together, you guys are so creative. If you see a blank piece of paper, go ahead, draw. Oil pastels, crayons, markers, paint, watercolors, dots. If you see an empty lot, say something by planting a seed and watching it bloom, right? Helping Mother Earth, Earth Day, life cycle, plant flowers. Go ahead and plant flowers. If you see someone being hurt, oh my goodness, I hope you don't see someone being hurt. That is like the worst. Say something by being brave. You guys are brave, right? Brave doesn't always mean strong muscles. Brave means like you know what to do. You know the right thing to do, right? You say, hey, stop. Stop hurting that person. That's not nice. Right? Don't just, they say, be an innocent bystander. If you see somebody not being nice to somebody, you stand up for that person. You be brave. But be safe too. If you see something beautiful, I see something beautiful. It's your faces. So beautiful, so handsome. If you see something beautiful, say something with a poem. A poem is something that you can write. It's like a little story that sometimes rhymes. We didn't talk very much about poems, but you can write a letter. I got some letters from you guys this year. If you see something beautiful, write a story about it. You know your letters. Your parents can help you write words. You can call Miss Britt or Miss Deb. We can help you. If you have a brilliant idea, which friends, you have so many good ideas, right? Like May with her down, up, W dance, right? Say something with confidence. That's where we say loud and proud. Put your shoulders back, stand up straight, look the people in the eye, talk loud and proud. You can do it. Yes, I can. Okay? That's what confidence means. Stand up straight, loud and proud. I can do it. Yes, I can. If you want to show the world who you are, say something with style, right? My style today is this little cute little bandana and my lipstick. And Ford always knows it's me because I have my bun on the top of my head. Charlotte has style, right? She's always wearing something glamorous. Everybody has their own style. So you guys can say it with style. You don't always have to use your words. You can say it with the way that you dress. Ta-da! And it's okay if you're shy. I was a really shy little girl when I was little. It's okay if you're shy. That doesn't mean you can't still say something. You say it in your own terms, when you want to say it, and how you want to say it. If you're angry, that red monster, say something to help people understand, right? If you're angry, you need people to understand, why are you angry? Use your words. You make me feel invincible. That really hurts. I'm really sorry. So if someone took a toy from you and you get angry, should you use your hands on them? No, Miss Britt. You say something. You say, I don't like that you took that toy from me. I would like it back, please. I will share with you, but I don't like when you grab it from me. Use your words. Say something. If you see something that's not right, which is called injustice, say something peacefully. Peace. Peace. No more hurting people. Peace. We need more peace in the world. Inspire others to do the same. What that means is that if you do the right thing, other people are going to want to do the right thing. That's where that leader of good comes into play. Always be a leader of good. Inspire people for peace, love, and happiness. Sometimes you'll say something and no one will be listening. But you know what? Keep saying what's in your heart, what you believe, and you will find someone who is listening. You may not even always know who's listening, but I bet someone's listening, right? I don't know who's listening to this right now, but hopefully you are. Keep saying it, and you may be surprised to find the whole world listening. Look at all those birds, right? Keep saying it. If you are grateful for being alive, which we all are, quietly say something to the stars and to the universe. You can look up in the stars and you can say, stars, I am so thankful that I met all these awesome friends this year and that I will have these friends for my whole life because they're so kind and I love them. Some people find it easier to say something than others, but everyone has something to say. You may not be ready to say it right away. Someday you will. I hope, I believe, I wish, together we can. I'm ready to change the world like you guys. I imagine that you all are going to grow up to be something truly amazing, and you have me for life. I'm going to watch and be there for you, and it has been a pleasure and an honor to be your teacher this year. I love you all so much. Air hug, heart. And friends, it's time now to move on to pre-K, the finale.